Welcome to Chaotic Crochet Chatter. My name is Jenny. I live in North Yorkshire in the UK with my husband and my son, and this is my little corner of the internet where I talk to you all about my recent projects, my future projects, my hand spinning of yarn, and anything else that I've been up to in the last few weeks. I hope you enjoy.
Well, hello. How are you? It is Wednesday, the 3rd of September. Can you believe it? The kids are back at school. Ned has gone back today, first day back. It's a whole mess that I won't get into. It's both gone really well and not so well. So there's a bit of everything. My hair is a complete mess. Just ignore it today. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm also really tired. So I don't know how this is going to go. I've done the school run twice today, morning and afternoon. And bearing in mind that normally I don't do it at all. And I've spent the last 6 and a bit weeks pretty much not leaving the house. And I can't drive, and the buses aren't running reliably at the moment. And it's a 40-minute walk each way. I'm a bit wrecked. I've got blisters on the back of both heels. My knees hurt and my hips hurt, and I'm only 37. Oh, that's pathetic. And I'm just worn out, and my chair's really creaky. Sorry. So yeah, I'm going to try not to waffle too much today, but as ever, I make no promises because I do like to go off on a tangent sometimes. I'm recording in the evening again. How's my phone? Sorry. Building work has commenced, is continuing. I'll talk a bit more about it later. No, probably not in this episode, probably in the next one. I'm going to do 2 parts, but not calling it that again. So there will be this episode 50 is my 50th episode. Probably ought to do something to mark it, but I'm not going to. Not anything big anyway. I was thinking about a giveaway, but I've literally just done the August prize draw for the make along that I'm running, and then at the end of this month I'll be doing the final prize draw. So it feels a bit excessive to have another giveaway. I'm kind of running out of things to give away, so I don't know, maybe I'll do a discount code or something. I'll have a think. Where was I going with that? 2 parts again, so there'll be this episode 50, which will be about crochet projects and whatever else I wrote down. Mostly just crochet stuff. And then there will be episode 51 coming out the day after this one, which will be about spinning and some shop news and a life update and just anything else that takes my fancy, really. Just again, so that you get 2 shorter episodes, more manageable episodes, instead of one ridiculously long one. I think it worked quite well last time. Do let me know how you feel about it though, if you think it's working, if you think it isn't. Let me know. Either way, opinions are gratefully received. I'm waffling already. What else do I need to say in this intro bit that's already too long? As ever, there will be notes in the description box below. There will be links to all the places you can find me and my things. There will be links to anything, any company that I talk about, that I mention, and links to my Ravelry project pages for the crochet stuff, and timestamps. That's the other thing, so that you can skip sections, revisit sections as you wish. I think that's it, but I can't remember, so I'm going to pause and check my notes and I'll come back. Okay, my microphone ran out of battery. I can't find my spare one. So I'm now using the microphone that is on my webcam, which is the camera I'm recording with. So I hope the sound's okay. I don't think it's quite as good on the webcam, but I might be wrong. We'll find out. I need to get this recorded. It is now 11:15. And I know I am a night owl, I'm always up late, but I've only just begun. And I'd like to get this finished before the morning. So I'm going to dive straight in, because I think I have said everything I need to for the intro now. So I'm going to talk about crochet projects that are on the go, if I can get my head back into gear. So I've had a bit of a switch around since last time, not a huge change, but there are a few new projects that I've needed to take on, wanted to take on, but they have deadlines, some of which are self-imposed, others not so much, and so I have made the decision to put a couple of whips into hibernation, mostly because they are more summer related, and although I know it's very likely that we will get another heat wave between now and the end of September, there's not too much left of summer. So I can probably cope without finishing these projects and save them for next year, or come back to them at some point. They'll go into my hibernation pile. Whenever I next spin the wheel, they might come up again. We shall see. So let me grab the first one. Okay, so this is the lightweight, hopefully quite long line granny Hexi cardigan that I'm making. The glittery gradient monochrome loveliness. Lovely and drapey and light and airy and breezy. Just as a little refresher, I am using this yarn. It's Cotton Kings Deluxe Shine from Hobby. It's lovely to work with. I've got 2 massive cakes of it, which should be more than enough. Should be. I'm not going to get all of it out, but basically I have now finished both of the actual hexagons. They look a bit crap because it's so drapey. I can't hold it in any way that actually makes it look like a hexagon on screen. So you're just going to have to trust that I've got 2 hexagons. And so when I do come back to it, it'll be a case of joining those together, hoping that they're big enough to go across my back. If not, adding a little bit extra to join them, and then doing sleeves and adding length, and that's all there is to it. So it's not too far from being finished, really. I could carry on and get it done, but I've got other things that are more important at the moment. Obviously all the notes will be on the project page as ever. The pattern that I'm using, this is not the right way out to be able to show you. Where's the front? There it is. The pattern that I'm using is this one from Folkestone Harbour Yarn, which I was given as part of a gift when I went to East Anglia Yarn Festival back in March. Which page was I on? I was in the middle, I think. Yeah. Just so it's in the right place when I come back to it. So that is going to get tucked away in hibernation. I will come back to it at some point and finish it off, and I'll be able to wear it next summer. At the moment I am embracing coziness and lovely autumn vibes. It's becoming my time of year again. Okay, the second and final project that I'm putting into hibernation for now, where's the zip on this bag? There. Is in a similar vein, is one that I don't need at the moment. It's the Parasol that I started making. This is using Scapy as well in Raspberry Rocky Road, I think it is. Again, it will be in the notes. And the pattern, what's the pattern called? The pattern is called the Lotus and Blossom Mandala, I think, by the guy with the hook. And I am using a 2.5mm hook. I was using a 1.8 because the video I watched all about making mandalas said to use 1.75, 1.8, something like that. But I tried it with this yarn and it was too stiff. Can you hear the cat? I think she's going to come in. I'll let her in a minute. Oh. And she's woken up my child. Hang on. I need to go and administer cuddles, but just quickly finish this bit off so I know I'm up to. Yeah, the fabric was too tight for what I want with that hook. I can't remember which repeat I'm on, but this is where I am up to with it. You're really starting to see the colour gradient take shape. So again, that's going away for now. Alright, I am back again. I'm going to desperately hope for no more interruptions because it's getting later and later, and yeah. Anyway, this bag, by the way, that the Parasol is living in, this bag is by this Lizzy Sews. You might have already heard of her. If you watch Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, you will definitely have heard of this Lizzy Sews. Her bags are incredible. This, and I have another one as well, were actually custom made for me. I sent her a message, this is ages ago now, but I sent her a message asking if she had any fabric that just had witchy vibes generally. And she sent me a picture of this and of just some starry fabric, I think it is. I was like, yeah, perfect, go. And she whipped them up for me, so obviously I paid for them, but yeah, they're so well made. And these are her design, where the top is rigid, it's got rigid wireframe, so it stays open, it's not floppy, so it sort of becomes a little basket. They're lovely. Right, what else have I got to show you? I've got a couple of finished things. Let me consult my list. Okay. We have here, I will have mentioned it last time and all the time before. That's not the right book. I'm trying to find the notes on it because I've put everything else away. That's not the right book either, but I will need both of those at the moment. Here we go. I mentioned last time I was making a little basket cave type thing for some of Ned's small teddies, and I'm trying to get it to stay shaped. I have added some spray starch to it, which is helping, but it's still not entirely holding its shape. But here it is. This is entirely of my own devising. The handle is just so that it can be carried. It's not really sewn in the right place, but never mind. It's fine. Ned will be happy with it. He hasn't seen it finished yet. He saw it almost finished. And then he asked me yesterday if I had actually finished it yet. I was like, oh yeah, sorry. I just need to starch it and then you can have it. So now that I've shown it to you, I'll sneak it into his room while he's at school tomorrow, I think. But yeah, no pattern or anything. I literally just made a flat base. It's just a flat circle. It's all single crochet stitches, I think. Well, then I did a few rounds that were just all the way around to get some height, and then I did a chain here
to create the gap, and then on the next row crocheted into the chain. I think I did a couple more rounds where I was only decreasing here to try and shape this bit, but the rest of it was just single crochet all the way around again. And then I started decreasing all the way up, and I kind of just was winging it, to be honest. I didn't really think too hard about it, and it's turned out okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Ned will be happy, that's the main thing, and his little tiny teddies can all live in here and stay safe, which is a bonus. I used that's the wrong, I'm looking in the wrong book again. This is all Stylecraft yarn. I was going to say it's all Stylecraft special, but that's not true. It's all DK weight held double, and I used a 5mm hook with it held double, and it was just about workable, and has kept it as stiff as I can manage. So the edging and the handle and the base are, I haven't actually written this down, damn, because I changed my mind. Did I write it on the next page? I wrote it on the next page. I forgot I'd started again. So scrap that. I didn't use a 5mm hook. I used a 4.5mm hook for the base, and then a 4mm hook for the rest of it. Everything else that I've said is true. So the base and the handle and the edging are Stylecraft special in Meadow, which is the green, 1065 I think that says, and Empire, which is the blue, and I think that's 1829. And then the sparkly red, Ned chose all these colours himself, by the way, from my stash. The sparkly redness is Stylecraft Wondersoft Stardust in Poppy, which is 3307. And I'm happy with it, and Ned will be happy with it. I've said that a bunch of times now. I can put that away. Now I think the other finished things I can't physically show you. One, because it has been, well, they've both been gifted, but one has been gifted out of the house. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's not my story to share. I don't know how much she would want the general public to know. But a week and a half ago, one of my sisters had a surprise baby. Completely out of the blue. I'm calling him a miracle baby. He just appeared, decided he wanted to come into the world. So he's adorable. I met him last Saturday. He's called Rory, and he is so precious. He was exactly what me called when I met him, and we had cuddles for probably a couple of hours. Because all my family know that once you've handed me a baby, I will not let it go until I absolutely have to. So yeah, he is the most adorable little thing ever. And of course, as soon as I heard that there was a new baby, I was like, well, I've got to make him things, come on. Auntie Jenny's got to make him stuff. So there is a blanket in progress, which I will show you in a minute. But here on the screen will be pictures of a little dinosaur toy that I have made him and I have given to my sister. It's so flipping cute. I'm really proud of how it's turned out, actually. I have made it the pattern before. Good few years ago now. It must be... Oh, the little boy I made it for has just started school, I think, this week. So it must be, what, 4 years ago that I made it? How time flies. And I have used... the pattern is the Brontosaurus pattern by Stringy Ding Ding, which is a fantastic name. And I've used Hobby Amigo yarn in dark purple, which is colour 61, and then all the orange bits are Stylecraft Special DK in Jaffa. I haven't written the number down, but it's the bright orange one.
Can't really miss it. And I used a 3.25mm hook, which is bigger than I would usually use for amigurumi. But the 2.5 was too small, and I couldn't find my 3mm. So 2.5 is what I would normally use, but it just didn't feel right at all. So I wanted to use a 3mm. I know I've got at least 2 3mm hooks, and I could not find them anywhere. So it turns out they were in another project pack. Obviously, they've turned up since. So yeah, 3.25 it was, and actually it has worked out really, really well. So I don't know what magic has happened this time, but I'm not complaining, because we've ended up with a beautiful little dinosaur who will hopefully be very much loved. Talking of things which are very much loved, I believe I told you last time about the hedgehogs that was making for Ned. I might have finished one of them last time, I can't remember. I have now finished both, and I would show them to you. I meant to ask Ned if I could borrow them for this evening to show you, but I forgot. It's been a day, I forgot. So they're in bed with him somewhere in his bed, and amongst all the other teddies at the moment. He is besotted with them, which is just adorable. Yeah, I've finished them both. I actually went slightly wrong with the pattern with the first one, not in a major way, just enough that there is a bit of a difference between the two, because I thought I'd do the second one as the pattern said. Although actually I've made slight tweaks for both, because it's just what I do. So yeah, they're slightly different. And I've actually embroidered the initial for one of their names onto one of them. I say embroidered, it's really rubbish, but it works as an identifying mark, which is what we need. Because yes, these are very specific hedgehogs. They are named after Ferdy and Cogs in the Moss Flower book from the Redwall series by Brian Jacks. I'll pop a picture of that up as well for you. Yeah, Ned just got a bit obsessed with them when we were reading that book, and I totally agree. They're really cute. So so that is why I've made him hedgehogs, because he asked for a Ferdy and a Cogs. So he now has them. The pattern for those is Hazel the Hedgehog by HLM Crochet on Instagram. I think she's HLM Crochet everywhere, but as ever I'll link her in all the ways I know how. This again, the colours were chosen by Ned, the yarn was chosen by Ned from my stash. Both Stylecraft Special DK held double, and we've got 1054, which is walnut, and 1063, which is graphite, and I used a 4mm hook for those. I've got a very happy boy, which is just the best thing. Right, works in progress. What am I starting with? I'm not normally this organised, but felt like I wanted to be today. Moss stitch blanket. I'm not trying to whiz through, but I also don't want this to take too long. So, again, this is one I've talked about before. It is the scrappy blanket that I'm making using up all my leftovers of the Crochet Society confection DK yarn I've accumulated over the years. Still quite a lot to go. And I've been making squares of corner to corner moss stitch, and I have now joined all of the currently completed squares together, and it's rather fabulous. I've not been paying attention to colour at all. I've just been mixing it up. I'm not going to get up and hold it up for you to see the whole thing. When it's finished I will, but now it is very much a work in progress. If I do that, you can see the rest of it in bits. So Some of the squares have got bigger borders than others. I think I mentioned either last time or the time before that that's because when I first started making these squares I didn't keep track of how big they were, so they were not all the same size. So I just added rows around the outside to get them all to the point where there's 40 stitches on each edge plus a corner stitch. And they are now all that size, and I'm still going. So at the moment it's 3 squares by 4, so 12 squares in total. I've got another one on the hook downstairs, and plenty more yarn still, so this is going to keep growing. I am intending to just literally use up every last scrap, and then I will use something else for the border. The joining yarn, instantly, can't see it very well because I've just no, there you go. Joining yarn here is another Stylecraft Special DK. I can't remember which colour it is. It might be Empire again, but I'm not certain, so don't quote me on that. But I just grabbed, there are so many colours in this, I just literally grabbed a ball of yarn from my stash. It's DK, that'll do. So it's fun, and it's a really good want to crochet but haven't got time to get anything complicated out, just want to sit and stitch for half an hour or so. It's great for that because I know exactly what I'm doing. As long as I keep track of the increase rows, I'm fine. I promised to show you a baby blanket, and a baby blanket I will show you the beginnings of anyway. This is the Trip dinosaur blanket by Owl Be Hooked. It's a paid pattern from Ravelry. It's upside down. It's a filet crochet design. This again I have made before, a really long time ago actually, for a friend's baby, years and years and years ago now. I think he's only a year or two younger than Ned. But when I made it back then, I made it in a gradient cotton cake, which worked up lovely, and you know, the blanket, I have evidence of it being used. So it was good. It wasn't as wide as this because it was a 4-ply cotton. This is again Stylecraft Special DK. What colour's this? Midnight, I thought it was 1011. And then I've got a light sort of greeny blue to go with, and like a pale silver, which are not Stylecraft, but I'll tell you about those next time. So I'm going to do, right, the original pattern is all one piece. I am tweaking it, so there will be a panel and then one like border row, joining row. In fact, no, I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the panels and then I'm going to join them with the silver yarn. So each panel is one pattern repeat, and then I'm going to join them with the silvery grey yarn. So I'm going to have two panels of Midnight of this and one of the light greeny blue colour. I might do another panel as well, but I think 3 is going to be enough, especially with the joining as well. Oh, and it's just so soft. Stylecraft Special is a bit hit and miss. It is usually lovely, but some are softer than others. This Midnight, I'm moving too fast again. This Midnight colour is especially soft. It's gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. What else was I going to say? Yeah, it's a paid pattern, and it's a great pattern. It's really well written. The instructions are really clear. When I made it all those years ago, it can't have been that many years ago. How long have I been crocheting for? I think it was within the first year of me crocheting, so however long ago that was. What was I saying? yeah, even back then, I found the pattern really easy to follow. My one complaint, and it's a relatively small one, there's no chart. And I prefer working filet crochet from a chart. So I've made my own one. Obviously I'm not going to put it up anywhere. It's not my intellectual property. It belongs to LB Hooked. I've just taken their instructions and turned them into a chart. That's all I've done. So I can't share it with you. But yeah. Should anybody out there be designing filet crochet patterns and want a chart to be done for them? Anyway, that's kind of by the by. Was I going to say anything else about this? Not really, I don't think, except that I'm using a 4.5mm hook because I wanted it to be quite loose, and also I couldn't find my 4mm. There's a lot of that going on at the moment. I am getting my hooks more organised, so hopefully I'll be able to find them more easily in the future. But yes, there's been a lot of that in the last couple of weeks. I've just not been able to find the size hook that I want. So 4.5mm instead of 4, which means it's lovely and loose and airy, but will still be cosy. Because obviously Rory's still going to be small when the weather gets cold. He's still going to need blankets. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's no specific deadline. I just want to get it done as soon as I can, basically, so I can hand it over and he can snuggle up in it. Talking of babies, it's all about the babies at the moment. Friends of ours are expecting a baby in October, I think. We have been invited to their baby shower, which is this coming weekend, and so more baby things being made. I have designed a blanket as well, but I haven't started making it, so I'll tell you about that next time, hopefully. I am planning to have it done before their baby gets here, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm also making them a toy as well. Doesn't look like much yet, but it will. It's taking shape. The next thing I'm going to do is embroider the face details on, the eyes and the nose, and maybe a little mouth. We'll see. I sometimes feel that when I add a mouth, it actually makes them look a bit weird, so I might just do eyes and a nose. I can do eyes and a nose. So yeah, that's what it looks like at the moment. The details for this one, I'll put a pattern up of what it is going to look like. A picture. This is Scout the Bunny by Theodore and Rose. It's another pattern that I've made before for another friend's baby. All about the babies. As with all of the patterns by Theodore and Rose, it's beautifully well written, works up really nicely. Really nothing more to say about it than that. It's great. I am using Yarnsmith's Snuggle Soft DK. This isn't the same colour, I don't know, because it's in a tangled purse. In Biscuit. I have also got it in cream for the blanket. So there's the label. I'm hoping you can see that. And I've used again a 3.25mm hook for the head because that is stuffed, just like your typical amigurumi. But then I'm using a 3.5mm hook for the rest of it because it's only the head that's stuffed. The rest of it is left. You can put a little bit of stuffing in. I mean, you can put as much in as you want. But the intention is that you just put a little bit of stuffing in or some cotton batting. Talking too fast now. Slow down. Just to give it a little bit of extra squish. But it's supposed to be flat. It's should call it a snuggler or something like that. It's like a cross between an amigurumi toy and one of those little comfort blankies that babies have. Do you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. It'll make more sense. Like I said, I'll put a picture up from the pattern so you know what it will eventually look like. And once I've finished it, hopefully by the end of Friday, I'll take lots of pictures and they'll go up on Instagram, and then I will show them on here the next time I record as well. So yeah, the last time I did it, my embroidery skills weren't great. Because obviously with it being for a baby, I don't want to use safety eyes or anything. So the last one I made ended up looking a little bit creepy. My embroidery skills, particularly for eyes, have improved massively since then, so I'm hoping I can do it justice this time and have cute eyes and not creepy eyes, because I don't want to scare anyone, especially because the friends in question are two of the loveliest people in the whole wide world. So I just want them to have something lovely. Oh, and I forgot to say that yarn, the Yarnsmith's yarn, is so soft. It is gorgeous. And they've got a good range of colours as well. Yarnsmiths are the own brand yarn from Wool Warehouse. They are knocking it out of the park with every single yarn that they have produced since they launched the new brand. So if you need anything, look for Yarnsmiths first if you can. You can only get it from Wool Warehouse, so if you don't have access to them, you're out of luck, I'm afraid. But I think they ship pretty much worldwide, so yeah, it's worth checking it out if you can get your hands on it. Okay, final current work in progress. I am pattern testing again for the wonderful Stitched Up by Emma, who is, well, about to release a brand new pattern. I'm not going to tell you a lot about it at the moment because I have only just started. There's 3.5 weeks left of testing, a little bit more maybe, right until the end of the month basically. So I'll tell you much more about it next time. I think it's called the Paw Print Mile a Minute Filet Crochet Blanket. It's something like that anyway, and like her other Mile a Minute blankets that she has done several of now, and they've all been lovely, you work strips and then join them and then add the border. It's a really lovely way of creating a blanket. It means you're working on a small piece at a time. Sometimes I like doing blankets that are all one big piece. It can be it's nice to not have to join pieces. And I think in winter that's quite lovely because you sat under a massive blanket, but also it does mean that every time you get to the end of a row you have to turn the whole thing, and that can get really awkward once it starts getting big. Making blankets like this when they're in pieces, or like a granny square one or something where you're joining the squares, solves that problem. Until you come to join them all together, you've literally just got one small piece to worry about, which makes it easier, quicker to work up, and means you can work on it in summer without getting too hot, which is an absolute bonus for me. I am using leftover yarn from other projects that's in my stash. I think most of it is Stylecraft Specialty K again. I've got a lot of it and I need to get through it. But I don't think it all is. Again, it will be in the project page at some point if I don't do it straight away, and I'll talk more about it next time when hopefully I'll have finished. Ned chose the colours for me mostly. I have tweaked them a little bit just to what are the words I'm looking for? Just to make them go together a little bit better, basically. But most of the colours were chosen by Ned, which is always nice. And I must remember I haven't actually got a notebook in this bag, so I must sort one out before I take this back downstairs. Okay, future plans have not changed much. There is the addition of the baby blanket that I just mentioned a minute ago that I'm designing for the friends that were having a baby in October. That is my own design. It will be sorry about the background noise. It will be a filet crochet blanket again with a woodland theme. And at some point, but probably not until next year, I am intending to write that up and publish it as a proper pattern. So whenever I get to that point, I'll be looking for testers. Other plans, the leg warmers still, I haven't started them, but Strictly starting again soon. And even though the Strictly Sock Along of Little Drops of Wonderful fame isn't officially running this year, I think Strictly is still going to be sock crochet time for me. It's sock season, come on. But leg warmers count as far as I'm concerned. So I think I will start those soon. The yarn's all ready, bagged up, notions pouch is ready, just need to choose the hook and get started. Possibly find a pattern, but I might make them up on my own. Christmas jumper I still haven't started. It's looking less and less likely to be a finished project this year, but I would like to at least get it started. And the blanket I'm planning for Kelvin, I haven't officially started, but I have decided it's going to be filet crochet too. I have tried a few different colourwork techniques. I know, I can do tapestry crochet, I can do mosaic, but I can't design mosaic. And I can play around with different tapestry crochet ideas with like different stitches and stuff. Tapestry never looks neat enough to me. Like, I want the edges of the designs of the patterns to be really crisp, and they never are. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but to me they never are, even with other people's work. Mosaic crochet, you get that crispness, but I'm not confident at all with designing mosaic stuff yet. What's the other one? Tunisian crochet, I probably could design and I probably could do it, but I haven't had a lot of experience with Tunisian crochet yet. My tension is a bit wangy, and I know Kelvin wouldn't really mind, but I do. So I'm going with filet crochet. There will be, it's going to be themed around the Warhammer 40k tabletop games. Did I mention that last time? I can't remember. And with the help of my brother-in-law, I have come up with some of the symbols that I want to include. I'm going to do the main Warhammer logo across the middle, basically, and then like different panels with the different symbols, and try and match like colours to factions and that kind of thing. Not really expecting to get it finished by Christmas. I would really like to, and I'm going to make a good effort to do that. But as I haven't started it yet, and we're into September already, and it's a big blanket, and I've got lots of other things to make, it's not looking likely. But what I think I would do, I may change my mind, is make as much of it as I can and then wrap it up as it is and still give it to Kelvin at Christmas and say, right, this is not finished but I'm working on it and it is for you, because otherwise I'm not going to have a good Christmas present for him. He's increasingly difficult to buy for because he has disposable income and I don't. Which, day to day is fine, it's not an issue, we have an arrangement. But when it comes to presents, he's always so good at getting presents for me, and in recent years I feel like I've been not letting the side down. He does really appreciate what I give him, but it's not at the same level. So, and I keep asking for expensive things. So I want to give him something really special. And I know that he will appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. He knows how long things take me. So, and how much care I put into them as well. Right, I think that is it for now. As I said at the beginning, there will be episode 51 after this, which will be about spinning and some shop stuff and life, basically. So that will be up for you did I say this, the day after this one? So this should be released on Friday the 5th. You already know this because if you're watching it, you know. If this gets released on Friday the 5th, then 51 will get released on Saturday the 6th. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that will all go according to plan. After that, the next podcast will be on the 26th of September. Because I think at the moment 3 weeks is working quite well. Do you agree? Or do you want me to go back to 2 weeks? I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along. So feel free, please do express an opinion. Let me know what works for you or what you like best. I might not listen, but let me know anyway. Right, I'm going to stop waffling for now. And I'll come back and waffle in a minute for the next one. Yeah, if you are going to watch the next one, then great, I'll see you there in a minute. Well, a few hours depending on how quickly you watch this. If you're not, thank you very much for watching this one, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, the emoji thing, I like it when you leave an emoji. I can't think of one, so just leave me a smiley face. Just so let me know that you've watched it, that you've got this far, all the way to the end. Thank you for being here. I hugely appreciate it. It honestly blows my mind that anybody comes and watches me do this. So thank you very much, and take care.